What's up, YouTube? My name is Talon, and today I'm here to share my thoughts on the Penguin series. I've been locked in with this show since day one, week one, ever since it, first started. I was automatically locked in. I really grew to love a lot of these characters. And if you haven't seen this series, be careful because I will be talking about minor spoilers, probably even some major spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show, save this video, watch it later, or if you want just a raw reaction or review for it, then of course watch it. But I really love this series. Penguin, he is a piece of shit. um, there's a lot of things that he did in this series that really just made me not like him as a character, but that's totally fine because that's how it's written to be. He's a villain, he's supposed to do these villainous things. And the thing is, like, he was on a dark path ever since he was younger. And the villain of the series, Sophia Falcone or Sophia Gigante, I think she was written probably the best in the series. Her downfall was really tragic because of her father and like the direction that he pushed her into, or really the journey that he forced her to go. I really felt bad for that because she didn't really like ask for any of that. She pretty much just knew too much. And then I think his name Michael Falcone, whatever her father's name is, but he was just even more of a piece of shit. He found out that his daughter found out that she knew what he was doing, so he pretty much forced her into Arkham. And then in turn she was in Arkham for like 10 years, so then she had to really adapt to being in a mental or really an insane asylum. So we did get an Easter egg on one of the or a Batman villain from the comics, but we'll never see her again. I forget her name, but she's like a doll or some shit. Like a rag doll or something. I want to say, I forget, but yeah, she was in Arkham. And then towards the end, I really did like how Selena got in contact with Sophia, because now in this universe they are half sisters. So that, is a good tease for part 2 of the movie or the series, the Batman part 2. Penguin's ending, I really didn't like what he did to his mother. He didn't really do anything, but it's just like leaving her in that vegetable state. She's not going to get any better. At that point, personally, I would have had to pull the plug. I can't just leave my mother just sitting in a bed and watching a city for, hours and hours and just sleeping. But she ended up like shedding a tear at the end, but I think she was shedding the tear because the state that she was in, and she had already mentioned a couple episodes before episode 8 that that's how she would not want to be. She even asked Penguin to, off her, and he didn't want to do it, but she didn't want to end up like that. But I think that's why she was crying. But Penguin, he ended up taking it as she was happy of like how far he's come. That's just, Penguin being Penguin, really just always thinking of himself. I really loved how throughout the series he was also able to talk his way out of nearly everything. I didn't really so much like his like little escape in episode 8, how he was like tied to the chair and then he just fell over, broke his arms out, and then just, picked up a gun and, just started shooting. But, you know, he's our main character for the series, so of course he had to, some way, somehow get out of that situation that he was in. But other than that, I did really like this series. I would say it's my second favorite series this year. It's right behind X-Men 97, but if we were just to take out all animation, then it's my top series this year. Definitely, I don't know if it's better than Peacemaker, because Peacemaker and the Penguin are just two totally different series, and it's hard to like really compare them. But when it comes to like just DC series, um I don't know, like I really did like Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker is definitely one of the best DC series there is. I try not to group the CW series in there because, you know, those aren't like really taken serious. Like the first couple seasons of Arrow and Flash were good, but you know after that they just kind of just fell off. But um, it's really between Peacemaker and Penguin at this point. Penguin is really good. I really like this universe that Matt Reeves has been building. And then I didn't like towards the end, because this is another thing on why Penguin is a piece of shit. But he was riding with this kid throughout the whole series. There was at some point where he was going to kill him, and then by the end of the series, he ends up doing it. Vic, Alfred Aguilar or something like that. I think he was a good kid. You know, he was really learning how to become a criminal and ride with Penguin. And then in the end, Penguin, you know, he just got a little too close to Penguin, I guess, because Penguin, you know, at this point, his mother is in a vegetable state. He can't really like connect with his mother anymore. His brothers has been dead, you know, for a while. And so at this point, I think he just wants to focus on his business as a criminal, pretty much. But, you know, Penguin came a long way throughout this series. He ends up finally getting that, you know, top penthouse, top level house. And also did find it very weird how he um, hired a sex worker to like just dance with him. Really, she really looked like his mom. She was even wearing his mom's dress, and like, you know, telling him I'm proud of you, you know, things like that. So I hope there's nothing that's just going on in the background after that, because that'll even make it even more weird. But you know, it's just Penguin just doing Penguin things to really make himself feel normal. But all in all, you know, I really did like this series. I would probably watch it again. I really love Sophia in this series. I was a big simp for her. Her outfits in this series just went crazy. She always looked so freaking sexy. Honestly, if she would have asked me to run with her and, you know, do whatever for the city of Gotham, I probably would have been one of those ones, you know. But yeah, I really love Sophia. I'm hoping to see her back again in either part 3 or part 2. I don't really think as like her character, like she could get her own series, but I don't know like how they would run her own series. But Sophia Gigante, Sophia Falcone, she was very interesting. So at this point in the series, the Falcones are pretty much done. There was one thing that I did not like how what she did, but she put her niece, I'm pretty sure, into like a little group kid home or something, and the kid home looked damn near just like Arkham. And it's like, why would you do that? You know, you got all this money, you can put her in something so much nicer, or like send her away off to boarding school or something. But it was just like a mini Arkham. And you know, there's a point where the kid was even, you know, cutting herself, and like it was sad, because it was like what you had to go through for 10 years, now this little girl is going to have to go through, and it's probably going to define her as a woman as she grows. And Sophia, like, you already learned how, you know, it changed you being in Arkham, so why would you send her to the same place? Unless Sophia wants her to turn out the same way, but like that's not what she was saying. She was like, I want you to be better than, you know, the piece of shit family we grew up from. But yet, you know, she was in the same type of facility that Sophia was into. But I digress. All in all, yeah, I did really like this series. If I had to rank it, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It was really good. I think out of like just between the Penguin series and the Batman Part 1, I think I lean more towards the Batman because at the end of the day, I am a Batman fan. So I would have to give it to like that one had the betterment of it, but that doesn't mean that the Penguin is a bad series. I would just prefer to watch the movie over the series, but I do really like the series, if that all makes sense. But all in all, it was good. It was great. I'm glad I watched it. It was a great story. If you would have asked me like a few years ago, does Penguin needs a series from the Batman 2022? I would have told you no. I don't really think he needed a series, but this series was done very well to build him and to push him into a direction to where now he's the kingpin of Gotham. You know, he set out to like where he wanted to go from like where he was, because at the end of the day he was originally a driver, and he was able to get the Maronis out of the way, and he was able to get the Falcones out of the way, and now we got the kingpin of Gotham, the Penguin. I'm hoping he gets his iceberg lounge again. I'm actually really hoping that we get a like winter setting for part 2, because that's kind of like how it was leading. I've heard that part 2 is supposed to take place somewhere close to the Penguin series, and then oh yeah, that was another thing. So like there's a lot of things that happens in this series, and Batman just did not show up, which was expected because you know you can't really expect Robert Pattinson to show up in this series, so they had to kind of do it in a way to where he just doesn't show up. There was a newspaper that says that Batman hasn't been in contact with Gordon for like weeks or something. I know this series, it takes place over like 6 weeks. So they're going to have to explain what the Batman has been doing during those 6 weeks. He could be off training. He could be in another part of the world. Or he could be fixing up Wayne Manor or making a new Wayne Manor or something. He has to be up to something. They did. I wish they would have shown like what it said in the letter from Selena, because I know she was headed off to Bloodhaven, so she probably had to like mail in that letter or something while she was in Bloodhaven, because she probably heard about Sophia or whatever. I'm still not understanding how Julian got his job back. I know he didn't like get fired or anything. He probably just quit, but it was just like it was kind of just too quick. So they really didn't say like 2 weeks later, 1 week later, or whatever. But it's just like he immediately got his job back, and then he's given the keys to just walk around the facility, have some alone time with Sophia, and like he's able to deliver her mail and all that crap. But I don't know. I thought that part was kind of forced into it, because I don't know. I just feel like in real life somebody just can't get a job back at their old job just that fast and be able to like still be like do whatever they want. But that's my only gripes. I don't think the last episode was as strong as all the previous other episodes, but it was all right, and it was cool to see the bat signal up in the air by like literally the last scene. I was actually hoping for like a post-credit scene or something to tease part 2 again, but we didn't really get that. I would say the bat signal is probably the biggest tease for part 2, but I keep on rambling on, dragging this on, but I really like this series, so don't get me wrong on like me talking about what I didn't like about this series, because I actually really did like this series. I enjoyed it. I was there week to week, always watching it. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the Penguin series. Let me know how you guys feel going into part 2. Are you excited for it? Did this make you more excited for it, or do you disagree? Are you not excited for it? And then don't forget to like this video and subscribe. See you later, guys.